We are blocked. We are stymied. For the last 3 months, we have a parliament where there is no majority, since I've been in office, no majority to take forward those people's priorities. A paralysed parliament that refuses time and again to honour the mandate of the people and to deliver Brexit. And that is why we need this election now. That's why we need it. We've got absolutely no choice. We must get Brexit done because we're Democrats. And there are millions who want to get Brexit done because they voted leave and they believe that the EU has become something very different from what it was when we signed up for the common market in 1975 with the first referendum. And then, of course, there are huge numbers who may have voted Remain, but who just want to respect the result of the referendum. And after 3.5 years, they think it's time for the wrangling to end. And I don't know about you, but I'm with them, aren't you? Yes. We have to get Brexit done because it's the best thing for our politics and for our psychological health. We have to get Brexit done because it's also the best thing for the economy. The uncertainty has become almost unbearable. People can't make decisions. They're hanging fire, waiting to hire new staff, waiting to buy new property. The UK attracts huge quantities of foreign direct investment, 92 billion last year, more than any other country in Europe. But right now, there is a pent-up tidal wave of new investment, tens of billions that could come to this country in the next few months from people who see that we have the right time zone, the right language, great universities, fantastic skills, and they're just waiting to greenlight their plans. And if we could get Brexit done, we could end their uncertainty. And let me make no bones about it. One of the most important reasons for voting Conservative and to help us to get a working majority is that we can get Brexit done now. We have a deal. We have a great deal. It's ready to go. Just add water. Stir in pot. It's there. The skeptics said it couldn't be done, and they were totally wrong. This deal allows us to maximise all the opportunities of Brexit, from free ports to free trade deals, from cutting VAT on tampons to banning the cruel export of live animals. We can take back control of our money, our borders, our laws. We can take back control of our immigration system and decide democratically who gets to come here for the good of the UK economy. And it gives business complete stability and certainty as we make the transition in January and come out. And the best thing, as I say, is that it's done, it's complete, it's ready to go. It's the Blue Peter deal. Here's one I made earlier. All we need is a working majority. All we need is a working majority in Parliament to make Parliament work. Just 9 more seats, and we can deliver Brexit in January and get Parliament working for you and unleash the potential of the whole country and get on with our agenda. And the only thing that held up that deal in Parliament, you may remember, and tripped us up at the final hurdle was, yes, I'm afraid to say it, Jeremy Corbyn and the Labour Party. And what exactly does Corbyn want? What would he do in the Corbyn-Sturgeon coalition that would actually, that I think is his only means of forming a government in this country, his only path to power? Well, if only we knew what he would do. The only hard crouton of fact in the great minestrone of muddle that constitutes Labour's Brexit policy is that he wants more delay, turning 2020 into a year of 2 referendums, as Nicola Sturgeon confirmed today. One on Scotland, on which Corbyn's position is veiled in mystery. Does he want to protect the Union, or would he join Nicola Sturgeon in trying to break up the most successful political partnership of the last 300 years? Who knows? As for his position on the EU, it's positively mind-boggling. He wants to negotiate a new deal. At least he wants another 3 months to negotiate a new deal. And then he wants to spend a further 6 months asking the public to vote on his deal in yet another toxic referendum campaign. And we don't even know what his own position will be. Will he campaign against the New Deal that he hopes to secure? Is he for leave? Is he for remain? Or is he like Schrodinger's cat, capable of occupying two contradictory positions at once? One thing is clear. The Sturgeon-Corbyn alliance would consign this country to months, if not years, of dither, delay, discord, division. When every month of pointless delay, insisted on by Corbyn, by the way, is costing this country £1 billion for nothing to stay in right now. And think what we could spend that £1 billion on, my friends, every month. That's a net contribution, by the way, £1 billion per month. That's almost 20,000 police officers, £1 billion. We need to get Brexit done so we can spend that money on our priorities, end the uncertainty, and get on with our programme of uniting and levelling up across the whole of the UK. Because if the potential of this country is enormous, then so frankly is the injustice. Some regions are 50% less productive than London. There are some parts of the country where people's lives are a decade shorter than in other parts. Educational outcomes can be vastly different. Imagine if every child had the same start, the same encouragement. Think of all the untapped talent in this country. And yet the solutions to that inequality are within our grasp. Our ambition is to unlock the whole nation's potential through infrastructure, better education and technology. Not just to close the opportunity gap between rich and poor, but also between the regions of this country. We're so ambitious, we believe we can close both gaps at once. Not by decapitating the tall poppies, but by spreading equality of opportunity. And there are some things that I think everybody should have as a matter of right. Freedom to walk the streets without fear of crime. We need to stop our kids getting sucked into the county lines drugs gangs, don't we? We need safer streets and proper punishments, and that means a government that funds the police and that backs the police. And that's why we've already begun, not just by investing in the 20,000 officers, but also backing them up with proper powers to do stop and search, tougher sentences for serious sexual and violent crimes. Of course, the best way to stop kids getting caught up in crime is to give every child in this country an excellent education. And that is why we are boosting per pupil funding so that each pupil gets a minimum of £4,000 in primary school, a minimum of £5,000 in secondary schools. We're putting about 780 million more into special educational needs schools. We're spending £2 billion in rebuilding our further education colleges, because they're a vital part of our educational system. It's not just about university, it's about giving kids across our country the skills that we need. And as we leave the EU, we will insist that all big public sector projects must hire British apprentices so that they can learn new skills on the job.